was the one big beautiful bill bipartisan? Where was the bipartisanship when they were gutting the federal government? When they're still gutting the federal government? Where's the bipartisanship on that? When they gutted USA, when they're laying people up, where's the bipartisanship? They're not interested in bipartisanship. Okay, we have been betrayed. America has been betrayed by so many people. We've been betrayed by so-called moderate Republicans like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and all the other people in the Senate who are so-called moderates. We've been betrayed by the Supreme Court. Obviously, we know that. And in many cases, we've been betrayed by Democrats. Alright? We're being betrayed by so many people. At this point, I feel that it's survival mode at this point. It's how can we slow this train down? Okay? In order to try to win the 2026 election and unfuck what has already been fucked. Just remember, guys, it is a giant graph. Okay? These people don't care about bipartisanship whatsoever at all. And to encapsulate this video perfectly, I am reminded of the words of William Lloyd Garrison. He was a 19th century abolitionist. Okay? His quote was, "With reasonable men, I will reason, but with tyrants, I will give no word." Alright? Basically saying that I'll talk to you if you're reasonable, sure. I'll talk to you, but I'm not going to reason with somebody who's trying to take my rights away. Exactly what they're doing. Maybe not my rights, because I'm a white male. I fit in that demographic. And that is why I make these videos, because sometimes people need to hear it from a white male, unfortunately. But that is how I feel. They're not your friends. It's a giant grip. Give your money out. But this is a huge grip. Unsubscribe to Mercedes channel if you can. Subscribe here for someone who can actually. Guys, you'll never guess who just showed up at the Unpopular Core MA. Yeah, it is the older motherfucking millennial. The event is absolutely. So you guys know that I'm MAGA, and unlike Mercedes Chandler, I really am reformed MAGA. Okay, I will come on here and I will tell you that I feel incredibly guilty and incredibly stupid about the things that I used to believe, about the things that I used to say, and about the things that I used to advocate for. I've lost a lot of friends along the way. Family still to this day doesn't talk to me. It's not like a fun position to be in. You know what I mean? But I am in utter shock at this video because they look at this as a grip. Mercedes Chandler, this is a grip to me. And I've always known that this is a grip from these people. Like I remember before the election, I would see these lives and I'd see one person say, she'd be wearing a MAGA hat, the other person would have like a Kamala Harris hat. These people don't give a fuck about the direction of this country. They don't give a fuck about alligator Auschwitz. They don't give a fuck about tariffs. They don't give a fuck about unemployment. They don't give a fuck about Medicaid. They don't give a fuck about Project 2025. They don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. It's one giant thing. And I think one of the things that pisses me off the most is that this is not the time for friends. Whatever happens to have no words to say, they're not going to be friendly to him. The guy disseminates like such dangerous information on the internet. He's not a good person. And I'm all for bipartisanship. By the way, I'm all for it. Where's the bipartisan piece of legislation for immigration reform like they had under Bush? Where's that piece of legislation? Was the one big beautiful bill bipartisan? Where was the bipartisanship when they were gutting the federal government, when they're still getting the federal government? Where's the bipartisanship on that? When they gutted USA, when they're laying people off, where's the bipartisanship on that? They're not interested in bipartisanship. We have been betrayed. America has been betrayed by so many people. We've been betrayed by so-called moderate Republicans like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and all these other people in the Senate who are so survival mode at this point. It's how can we slow this train down? Okay? To try to win the 2026 election and unfuck what has already been fucked. Just remember, guys, it is a giant grift, okay? These people don't care about bipartisanship whatsoever at all. And you know, to account for this video perfectly, I am reminded of the words of William Lloyd Garrison, the 19th century abolitionist, okay? And his quote was, "With reasonable men, I will reason, but with tyrants, I will give no order." Alright? Basically saying that I'll talk to you if you're reasonable, sure. I'll talk to you, but I'm not going to reason with somebody who's trying to take my rights. It's exactly what they're doing. Maybe not my rights, because I'm a white man, I fit the demographic. And that is why I make these videos, because sometimes people need to hear from white men, unfortunately. But that is how I feel. They're not your friends. It's a giant grift. Give your money elsewhere, you know. But this is a huge grift. Unsubscribe from Mercedes Chandler if you can. Unsubscribe here for something you can actually help.
Guys, you'll never guess who just showed up at the Unfuck American Tour event. Yeah, it is the older motherfucking millennial. The event is absolutely...
So you guys know that I'm Reformed MAGA, and unlike Mercedes Chandler, I really am Reformed MAGA, okay? I will come on here and I will tell you that I feel incredibly guilty and incredibly stupid about the things that I used to believe, about the things that I used to say, about the things that I used to advocate for. I've lost a lot of friends along the way. Family still to this day doesn't talk to me. It's not like a fun position to be in. You know what I mean? But I am in utter shock at this video because they look at this as a grift. Mercedes Chandler, this is a grift, and I've always known that this is a grift from these people.